Actually, I'm going to hold you two accountable to kind of really be the wranglers, because I feel like at the end of the day, like, you know, you don't bother nobody unless they come for you.
Yeah.
Angela, Pinky, and Cynthia's conversation on the Real Housewives of Atlanta showed a completely different side of the drama that happened at Phaedra's house. Because instead of everything turning into another major argument, this moment was more about honesty, reflection, and finally explaining what really happened. What stood out to me immediately was the dynamic between Angela and Pinky. After everything that happened before, it was interesting seeing them actually have a conversation where they could laugh, talk, and still be honest with each other.
I feel like I missed a lot at Phaedra's house.
It was bad. There were already issues walking into the room when we got there. Kay had issue with Portia and Drew.
What I see is Portia really trying to make an effort to be friends with Kay. So what am I missing?
So when she first came in the friend group, Portia allegedly said that Kelly was sleeping with a married man.
Okay.
That was her first instance with her, like, okay. But then she asked her if she had a miscarriage. So she feels like Portia gives like a mean girl energy.
No.
You know, when Kay and I went to dinner, that's what she explained, that it's more. Apparently, they share an ex-boyfriend of sorts.
What damn ex-boyfriend?
The last ex that I was seeing publicly, he was like, yeah, she called and told me you were in the friend group.
Who is he?
I know because
When you joined the group.
And after that,
Apparently, Kelly said,
Portia every Nigerian in Atlanta.
then there was a lot of fingers, and then Kelly took the glass.
you gotta get that goddamn drink on my face.
Felt like a calling from God, that I came early and then I was removed from that space. When the hits the fan, the Lord says, oh, not today, Saint. Not these cheekbones, honey. You know what? Actually, I'm going to hold you two accountable to kind of really be the wranglers, because I feel like at the end of the day, like, you know, you don't bother nobody unless they come for you.
yeah. So I feel like me and Shamina got to fix our thing. She had some energy for me in Dallas. Now it's more things because she's bringing up older issues. And she'll highlight
Well,
it
that's
like,
not good.
yeah, you're doing it again.
You're still talking about me in rooms that I'm not in.
When it involves me, I'm going to talk about you.
It doesn't involve you, though.
It
And
did
you don't
if
need to
you
continue to
think.
insert yourself in my business.
You my friend, so I can say this to you now. You instigate situations sometimes. And I don't think that you necessarily do it on purpose. I feel like you genuinely want to know oftentimes.
You know, you ain't far from it,
No,
Pete.
but let me what she just did, though, that I respect. She put me out there as an instigator, but she ain't leave me there. Come on. She came and pulled me back in.
I think that y'all should definitely have a conversation one-on-one.
I love one-on-one.
Face-to-face. Yes.
Shamia, she will receive a conversation.
I've had multiple conversations with Shamia. Cynthia, I know that's why I'm surprised we're here. Shamia and I are just not in a good place. However, I'm all about bringing the group together. If it means I have to reach out to Shamina, damn. Shamia. I will do that. I am willing to call Shalaya.
I feel like you can convince Kay to have some kind of reset with Portia. They ain't never got to be damn best friends.
What I would like, though, is, and I told Portia this because I went over there.
And how was that? Just you and Portia?
Yeah, it was good. Did you know that she had an issue with you prior to us sitting at the table?
We've had private conversations, building a real friendship.
Right, but it's not on your time.
Hold on.
It's not on your time,
But it's on
Portia.
an appropriate time.
Yeah, listen.
Hey, Michelle could have called me. It's not your turn. It's my turn.
The good thing is, Portia had more understanding. And you know what she said?
At the end of the day, the space allows some level of conversation that seems healthy, that I'll have it.
I'm willing to try again.
There you go.
In a perfect world, we could literally come together and just be cool.
Yes.
I agree.
So let's get up in a circle. Well, no, I'm so cheesy. Come on. To the circle. To the circle.
Hold on, wait, your titties are my face.
Yeah.
Sometimes on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, disagreements become so intense that people never actually get to a place where they can understand each other. But this moment felt different. Angela came into the conversation with the same personality she has been showing all season. She was confident, funny, and she had no problem expressing exactly how she felt about everything that went down. Angela has this way of adding humor into serious situations, and that's exactly what happened when she started joking around while explaining the drama. The way Angela was playing with names and making comments showed the shady side of her personality that always seems to come out during these conversations. Even though she was explaining something serious, she still found a way to make the moment entertaining. But what made the conversation more interesting was Pinky's honesty. Pinky didn't just agree with everything Angela was saying. She actually told Angela directly how she viewed the situation, including telling her that she felt Angela was instigating. That moment stood out because real conversations are not always about telling people what they want to hear. Sometimes honesty means telling someone close to you when you think they played a role in making something bigger. That's why I actually respected the way Pinky handled this specific conversation. Instead of making it a bigger argument, she simply gave her perspective. She was able to disagree with Angela without the entire conversation falling apart. On the Real Housewives of Atlanta, that does not always happen. A lot of times when someone gets called out, the conversation immediately turns defensive. But Angela was able to hear what Pinky was saying while still standing in her own truth. That balance is what made this scene different. Cynthia being there also added another layer because she was hearing everything that happened and trying to understand the situation from the outside. Sometimes when drama happens inside a group, bringing in another perspective helps because that person is not reacting with the same emotions as everyone who was directly involved. The situation at Phaedra's house clearly created a lot of conversations afterward because everyone walked away with different opinions about what really happened. And that is usually where the biggest problems start. One person sees something as honesty. Another person sees it as being messy. Another person sees it as simply repeating information. That difference in perspective is exactly why these disagreements keep happening. Angela seems to believe that she is just saying what needs to be said. But Pinky pointed out that sometimes bringing certain things into a conversation can add fuel to the fire. That is where the disagreement comes from. There is a thin line between addressing something and keeping a situation going. Another thing that stood out to me is how Pinky approaches situations within the group. Sometimes she takes on the role of trying to keep everyone accountable and trying to get everyone to communicate, but that can also create its own problems. When someone constantly steps into the middle, people can start questioning whether they are helping or controlling the conversation. In this scene though, Pinky's approach felt calmer. She was direct, but it didn't feel like she was trying to overpower anyone. She said what she needed to say and allowed the conversation to continue. That made a big difference. Angela also showed why she has become such a strong presence this season. She does not seem afraid of people disagreeing with her. She can receive criticism, but she is also going to explain why she did what she did. That confidence is a major part of her personality on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The bigger conversation also connects back to everything happening with the group, especially the unresolved situations involving Drew, Kay, Michelle, and everyone else. There are so many different issues happening at once that sometimes the focus shifts away from the original problem. That is exactly why conversations like this matter. They show how different people process the same event. Angela saw things one way. Pinky saw things another way. Cynthia was there listening and trying to understand the bigger picture. By the end of the conversation, it actually felt like Angela and Pinky were in a better place because they were able to have a disagreement without turning against each other. That shows growth. Not every uncomfortable conversation has to become a friendship-ending situation. Sometimes people can call each other out and still move forward. This moment on the Real Housewives of Atlanta showed that the strongest relationships in the group might not be the ones where everyone agrees all the time. Sometimes the strongest relationships are the ones where people can be honest, disagree, and still respect each other afterward. Angela and Pinky's conversation proved that their dynamic is more complicated than just drama. They can shade each other, challenge each other, and still have moments where they understand each other. But with everything still happening in the group, it feels like this conversation is only one piece of a much bigger situation. The drama from Phaedra's house is clearly not finished, and as more conversations happen, more opinions and more disagreements are definitely going to come out.